Okay, let's hop on and see how those Fallout videos are doing. What did I get? Like 20, 30 views and I'll be happy, you know? Oh. Oh. Well, in that case, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow. No, I'm just kidding. What, you really thought Raid would sponsor me? No, this video is actually sponsored by you guys, the viewers. All your comments telling me how great this series has been and how I should keep going really means a lot to me. So I wanted to dedicate a section of my video to you. I can't believe we even shot past 100 subscribers, and I'd like to thank Too Many Zeros, or like, I don't know if it's like Too Many Zeros or Too Many Z Ross, but either way, for being my 100th subscriber. So I appreciate it, guys, more than you'll ever know. And without further ado, let's start the review. Yeah, that rhymed.
You're here. Do you join the Unity, or do you die here?
September 30th, 1997 saw the release of the first Fallout game. A legendary milestone for Western RPGs, because something I think a lot of people don't realize is that Japan had been dunking on us for years at this point when it came to RPGs. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Chrono Trigger were already well-established series by then. And it's not that I'm trying to say there wasn't good Western RPGs already out. I mean, even Bethesda, the company that would go on to buy Fallout, had already released Elder Scrolls 1 and 2. I'm just saying that I think there was a hole in the market in comparison to what Japan's developers had to offer. And after playing Fallout 1, I'd say it was one of the best Western RPGs to come out in the late 90s. That being said, this game shows its age. I really wish Bethesda would either remake it or contract a different company to remake it, because as groundbreaking as it is, there's moments you have with this game that could be circumvented with a nice refresh. But let me just get into the best part of this game first. You're a dweller of Vault 13, located in what's left of California, 84 years after the Great War of 2161. You and your fellow dwellers have a huge problem on your hands. The water chip in your vault needs to be replaced, and you only have about 150 days of water left, so he sends you to go retrieve another to ensure the vault's future. He marks another vault, Vault 15 to be exact, on your map. This is how the first Fallout begins. From here, you can pretty much choose where to go and what to do, although I wouldn't recommend aimlessly traveling the wasteland in this game. The only solace you have is with the townspeople and your friends of the waste. The wasteland is a desolate, scary place. Unlike future games, you'll quickly find if you don't have the right stats and weapons, you'll quickly find yourself dying. Lo and behold, you're not going to find the water chip you need in Vault 15, so it's off to search for it yet again. No matter where you go, you're bound to end up finding this water chip, but I chose to head straight to the hub right after Vault 15. I'm choosing to leave some details out because one thing someone commented on my New Vegas video was how they wish they could go back and play that game again for the first time. And that, my friends, is what's so good about Fallout 1, is that my first playthrough most likely won't look anything like how yours went. And yes, I did look up a build guide, and honestly, I've watched enough Fallout lore videos to get the basic gist of where to go, but yet everything I did in this game was difficult. Every task had to be methodically planned out, and I relied heavily on save states to progress. That being said, I'm only really trying to explain the overall story, and to do that I'll have to mention some things, but everything else I'd rather you find for yourself. Now that may not be the answer you're quite looking for, but with this game I want to inspire people to dig up the past of the game series they love. For if you love Fallout and truly want to see where it came from, you'll download it and play it alongside me. Hell, maybe you have already played this game. Maybe you've played it so many times that you can laugh at all my little mistakes you catch within the video. See, that's the reason these games have gone on as long as they have. That sense of wonder and finding out everything you could possibly do within the world is what draws people back to them again and again. You played Fallout 4 because you wanted it to give you a similar sense of wonder that maybe the past past games did. And maybe it did, but I can guarantee if you didn't like Fallout 4, a big reason was that it didn't give you that feeling. Anyways, enough rambling. You eventually find yourself in the hub, the ultimate source for economics and trade. This bustling city had two things that I wanted, one of which being the water merchants, which have a water shipment for sale that can add 100 days to your time limit for finding water. This is extremely useful and might take the edge off a bit for our lowly vault dweller. The second thing of importance to me and many other Fallout players is Harold. I think it's safe to say he's the best reoccurring character in the series. He even appears in the spin-off games Brotherhood of Steel and Fallout Tactics. He even appears in Fallout 3 as a tree where he asks you to kill him. I remember this part of Fallout 3 as a kid and didn't know until many years later that there actually was lore attached to this character. I'm going to get into all of the lore surrounding him, but it's important to note that he does know the main antagonist of the later story, the Master, which we'll also get to later. One way or another, you'll find yourself in Necropolis, which is based off of Bakersfield, California. However, if you look at Bakersfield in real life, it's not that much different. The city is inhabited by ghouls, and you can take their water chip, however you are tasked with a choice for this. You can either take their water chip and repair their water pump, or you can just take the chip and run. This is a big part of Fallout 1, as throughout the game you'll have many decisions like this while you progress through the game. What kind of person do you want to be? Anyways, after bringing the chip back to the vault, your overseer will send you out yet again, as he has heard of super mutants being a real pain, and he wants you to find the source of them and stop them. Stopping the leader of the super mutants is a difficult task, but one that can be approached in two different ways. You can either choose to kill him, or you can choose to tell him about your knowledge of super mutants being infertile. Super mutants being infertile is a big problem for him in his plans to repopulate the Earth with these superior beings. Isn't possible if they're all impotent. If you choose this option, he will tell you to leave and blow himself up. He realizes the mistakes he's made and how he affected those around him. He's infinitely more complex than the antagonist of Fallout 3, which I covered in my last video. And this leads me to my main point about Fallout games developed by Interplay. While the world in the first Fallout isn't great in comparison to later titles, I mean literally it's 90% desert, the storytelling in the first two installments is unmatched and unrivaled. Many people argue that the original Vault Dweller is the most important character in the franchise, as him stopping the super mutants and later founding the town of Arroyo is pivotal to both Fallout 2 and the remainder of the titles. The ending to this game is sad though. The Overseer explains that you're indeed a hero. You did everything right. You potentially saved all of humanity. However, it jeopardizes the rest of the people within the vault as they may try to follow in your footsteps and leave. And with great sadness, the vault's Overseer must send you on your way. Back into the wasteland. The one thing you set to protect is the very place you must never return to. I've yet to see a Fallout game with this much depth, at least within the main quest in the games I've played so far. You can tell he cares, but it's his job to do what's best for everybody, not just what you or him may want. Fallout 1 might be an old clunky crpg, but its story has yet to be matched in the games in the series I played thus far. And I would like to admit that Fallout 1 is now currently tied with New Vegas, in my humble opinion. With that being said, the Vault Dweller takes his final lonesome steps away from the vault, into the waste. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked the video, maybe consider subscribing and maybe even leaving a like. I post content on all sorts of games, and I thank everyone who's watched and supported me thus far. And thank you to my homie for supplying me with some of the music in this video. The intro and the song after that were all him. He makes all kinds of music and just made his own YouTube channel the other day, so consider subbing and telling him Riku sent ya. And have a good night.